All right, hon, this is just practice. We'll just walk through it. It's just the intro, okay? And I'll give you full credit. I'll say something like, thanks to my lovely wife for helping me with the video. So let's just go ahead and run through it. So I'll say something like, I was looking for a car cover that would protect me from the sun, and then you point the camera up to the sun. Also protect my car from the rain, and then you'll go ahead and hit me with the hose. Jeez, it's practice. Was that on jet? That hurt. I had it on mist. Come on. Anyways, and then I'll say I also needed protection from hail. Jeez, that's ice. It hurts. It's hard. All right. And I also needed protection from flying debris.
Hello, happy people, and welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world, the BMW Z3, or as the folks in New South Wales call it, the Z3. I'm Mark, and I'm here today to talk about this new cockpit cover I have, which will not protect you from all the things I showed you earlier, but does protect you from a lot. So I'm going to review this product today. But first, a couple of announcements. Number one, last week we went over 500 subs. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to keep on going. And I also received an email from viewer CW who followed my instructions on how to replace his catalytic converter, which I did in a video a couple of months ago. He had some trouble with the part, specifically the rear O2 sensor not fitting correctly. So keep an eye out for that. As I said in the video, if I had to do it all over again, I would have just taken it to the shop. I also had a viewer who is a welder and managed to do the same job for $50 using an Amazon.com converter and welding it in himself. So if you have those skills, that's another possibility. CW also asked me about replacing the O2 sensors, which I did not do, but he had a friend suggest that might be a good idea, that maybe the reason his catalytic converter, the honeycomb material, fell apart like mine was because there was a faulty O2 sensor and he was getting too much fuel, and that rich fuel mixture was messing up the honeycomb material. Again, I may replace my O2 sensors. I haven't yet, and I'm not getting any codes from them. But just wanted to update you with that. And the subs, thank you again. And now, our Zeds of the Week. First up is Greg from Colorado and his 2002 3-liter Roadster. Greg's a former Porscheophile who was forced to sell his beloved 944 and went a few years before he bought the Z3 last year. He's put about 1,000 miles on it since. Greg's also a serious cyclist who's put 4,000 miles on his bikes in the last year. Very impressive, Greg. Next, we have Hardy from British Columbia, Canada. That's one of the cooler names I've heard recently. Hardy has a 2002 Roadster in Alpine White. What a pretty car. This was imported into Canada from the U.S., Florida specifically, in 2007. Hardy says it is all stock and running perfectly. Boy, Hardy, you sure take the photography award. Nice job. I love that Dodge in the background. Well done. Thank you so much, Greg and Hardy, for sharing your amazing cars. Certainly appreciated. If you'd like your Z3 featured on Moment of Zed, follow the instructions in the description and send me an email. So, on to the review of this cockpit cover from Roadster Solutions. Link in the description to their website. The reason I bought this is that my car is constantly out in the sun. I daily my Z3 and work every day. I have a parking lot that is not covered. The car is constantly in the burning hot Florida sun and the pop-up thunderstorms and all the other things that Florida throws you, especially in August and September. And I was worried that the sun especially was going to start affecting my top, my interior, my dash. So I decided to purchase something to take care of all those things with one product. And this is it. the Roadster Solutions cockpit cover for the Z3. This is actually made by a company called Covercraft, which is, I believe, the largest car cover manufacturer in the world. So let's take a look at the details of this amazing product. So I think you'll probably notice a couple things right off the bat. Number one, the material is not completely water resistant, or waterproof, I should say. It will absorb some water if it sits on it long enough. These water spots you can see are just from the morning dew. Of course, it's very humid here still in Florida. But the material itself is made by Sunbrella. It's supposed to be a UV resistant material for sunnier locations such as Florida. You can also get it in another material that's not quite as UV resistant, but ends up being a little cheaper. I'm very happy with the material itself. It feels very thick, very sturdy, very durable. The stitching between the different panels, and I'm no seamstress, but seems to be very good, of high quality. There's a couple places where there's some loose threads here and there, but nothing major. And again, overall, as far as the material and the construction goes, I'm very happy with the cover. I'm also very happy with the looks of it. It looks good, has a nice tight fit. It's custom made for the Z3, so that's not too surprising. But again, I like the material. All the parts of the cover itself that are going to touch the car, there's no exposed metal. It's all nice and soft, so you really don't have to worry about scratching up the car when you're putting it on or taking it off. Also built into the cover is door ding protection. There's pads here in this part of the cover that protect you from someone smashing their door into yours. Of course, they'd probably have to have a pretty low car, but there's that pad in there, which is a nice little bit of extra protection. And let's take a look at it. You can see the pad itself right there, and that's removable through this gap, so you can wash the cover. The cover is washable, but they say you should not put it in the dryer.
Let's go over the installation steps, which are fairly simple. I keep my cover rolled up in the trunk. It does come with a handy carrying bag, which is well made, different material, but still very well made. That's what you're looking at there. To start with, just take the cover, unroll it in the center of the top, and once it's all unrolled, you can just go ahead and bring down the first side panel and just make sure that goes over the side view mirror. Go over to the other side, same thing, roll down the side panel, go over the side view mirror, and kind of start to get it lined up. Then go ahead and go to the back of the car where there are two tabs that are thicker at the end than in the middle. Those two tabs go into your rain gutter, and once you get them in there, just go ahead and center that up as best you can. Even with the trunk closed, you can still move it around, but those tabs will not pull out of the rain gutter. That's how the back's held in. So then you can just go ahead and close your trunk. And we can move over to one of the sides. Now on the sides, there are two elastic straps with felt covered J hooks at the end, nice and soft. Those come flat when they get shipped to you, and you just bend them yourself, and they get tucked between the door and the rocker. And the elastic will stretch a little bit. It's loose now, but once we adjust it, even up the sides, then it will be taut. Then the last step is just to go ahead on the front of the car, tuck the leading edge of the cover underneath your windshield wipers, both of them, and then there's a Velcro closure over the wiper blade itself. And again, you're going to do that to both the passenger side and driver's side wiper blades. This is the part of the securing which I'm not 100% on board with. It does work. It's a little bit odd, but the biggest thing I have a complaint with is how the Velcro is. You have a very long fuzzy side and long tail to the Velcro, but a very, very small sticky side, and I think they could have done a better job with that. But that's probably my only complaint about the cover, and there it is, all installed, and you're protected and ready to go.
So, final thoughts on the Roadster Solution car cover, which, by the way, retails for just shy of $200 with shipping and tax. It ended up costing me about $235, and it got to me in 2 to 3 days after I ordered it, so very quick. If your use case is like mine, your car's constantly outside under the sun, I highly recommend it. Another problem I didn't mention in the introduction was when I got done with work, my car was hotter than two hells inside. This has probably reduced the temperature of the inside of my car when I first get done working by 10 to 20 degrees. So for all those reasons, if your use case is like mine, I highly recommend it. I think it's a good quality product, and I'm looking forward to hopefully years of good use out of it. Hey, if you found this content helpful, please smash that like button. And until next time, drive safe.